So I wanted to make this video because today especially I've been thinking about it all day and I wanted to make a video about it. And this video is a men appreciation video because I throughout my development in the last this is day 15 of my 21-day fast, and throughout the day today I've really had a swell of energy, an appreciation, and a lot of thoughts about all the men that have come before me, the men that I've observed, and the men that have helped me really shape who I am now. And this is for all men in general. You know, this is an appreciation for men because as I start to become a man of good character, a man of developed character, a man of integrity, I'm really starting to grow a deep fond and appreciation for all the hard work that has been done, all the groundwork that has been laid so that I can have an opportunity to carry on that fire that's been passed down through all the men that came before me. And within just in my immediate memory and space, you know, my adopted father, Nick and Jason Shervany, even, you know, my biological father, who I don't really, know that well. And then I also think about all the men that are currently present that are, doing things to push humanity forward in whatever ways they're capable of doing, whether you want to say it's big or small, depends on how you look at it. Whether it's raising good children, that's not a small feat. Whether it's running a big company that produces something that makes society run smoother, that makes society run better. I'm so, so grateful to be alive in a generation that has made life so much easier. You know, all the hard work that all these men have come before me, all the work that they've put in, I'm reaping the benefits of now. So I was mowing the lawn today, and I'm mowing the lawn with a electric, I mean, it's a gas lawnmower, but it's a drive gas mower. I don't have to go out there with a machete and cut the grass. Somebody came up with the design of a driving lawnmower, and I spent 2.5, 3 hours taking care of where I live, and the man that built this meditation center, this retreat center that I live at, I'm so grateful to him because of his hard work, I'm able to be here in this moment to make this video. I'm able to be in an environment where I can do a 21-day fast and be safe, and to be in an environment that's allowed me to bring out this energy out of myself. And I don't really know if sometimes men are told how amazing they are, how phenomenal they truly have been for humanity and for society in general. And, I just really, really wanted to make this video to let all the men out there know how incredible you're doing, and I'm so grateful for all the men that, genetically are encoded in my DNA as an African. I think about that all the time, and I think about my mind, my brain. I love my brain. I genuinely geek out over my brain because I always wonder what kind of man gave me the mind to like designing rooms. to like building spaces? What kind of whose genetics is in me that makes me like technology so much, or makes me like English and words so much, right? And I think about that all the time. The culmination of genetics that have been encoded into my body, I always think about that. How many men before me had to develop the willpower, the strength, and something in my core that I can't really define, but it's so embedded into me. I always think about that. Like, how many men did it take to cultivate who I'm becoming? And then I think about my immediate circle of men that I've observed and the amount of respect I've I've gained, and I've always respected them. That's why I was so impatient to get to where I'm at. I wanted to be a man who had a family, went to work, worked his ass off, came home, and spent time with the family, which is what led so much of that pressure that I had put on myself became self-destructive because I was so impatient to get to where I wanted to be at. And today it just hit me that there's a process to everything. All the great men, pick any, and this is for any man out there. Look around you and pick a few that you genuinely respect and admire because of their contribution to society, big or small. There was a process for them that they went through to get to where they're at, and you're reaping the benefits of it. You know, I made breakfast this morning and I put something nice together, and somebody that I work with, and we work together all the time. She didn't want that breakfast. She was expecting something else. And she was like, "What happened? Why didn't you make this?" And I just lost it. I just got so impatient and shut the conversation down, threw my headphones in because I didn't want to hear it. And that was so immature of me because she was used to a certain pattern and certain things being put out for breakfast that I didn't make because I'm usually not on breakfast. I'm on lunch and dinners when I make food. And I just lost it and became so impatient. And that was a moment that I needed to find a solution, whether it's I took a step back and tried to understand her perspective that she's used to certain things being out for breakfast instead of a taco bar, for a breakfast taco bar. She likes chia pudding and fruits. And I made a breakfast taco bar. And she also has a limited diet because of the yogic uh, traditions that she follows. And I just lost my mind. I didn't try to understand her perspective, and I was like, she's being ungrateful and all these things. And then I listened to a video about, what it means to be a man. And my mentor also, sent me, on the phone call, he gave me a few things to think about. And, he was like, when you're doing this fast, what is the purpose of it? Because yoga is not about the histrionics. It's not about doing those things for show. So are you doing this 21-day fast for show, or what is the purpose behind it? And for me, it was to find resolve. That was the reason I wanted to do this 21-day fast, is I wanted to find the resolve within me, because I'm starting to realize more and more the amount of work that went into all these men that I've grown a deep love and appreciation for. I genuinely love these men. And I'm really starting to realize, because of how much work I'm doing with myself, I'm realizing how much work they've had to do with themselves, the nights that they've had to dig deep to find that willpower, to find that surrender that everything is going to work out, and my mentor said, a masculine man is generative, and generative means to create something that benefits all, that works for everybody. A masculine man is gentle. Masculinity means to be generous. Masculinity means to not harm, you know, and I thought about that, and, I was steaming with just with my own BS, my own nonsense. And I get on the lawnmower and I start mowing the grass. I'm taking care of the property I live because it's important. And one of the most important things I've heard to this day in my life was, I was on a call and my mentor's mentor was saying, every job that you see is important. Every single job, from the trash man to the person working at Qdoba, to the person working at McDonald's, to the lifeguard, to the people. Any single job you see is important because without it, someone is not getting something they need, and it changed my perspective completely on how I view myself, because there were times where it's not that I looked down on things, but I didn't want to do them because I felt like they were beneath me when I was working, and I heard this when I was working at the pizza restaurant, and it changed my approach for the way I show up to work because it's we all progress in life, but while you're working a specific position, you should treat it with the utmost respect and diligence. And I was thinking about that while I was working and realizing that patience is critical in life to getting to different places and to getting to different levels, and it just made me really, like, I've been thinking about it all day, and I've been thinking about the fact that, you know, I want to be a man of integrity. I want to be a man that's generative, that creates something that benefits society, not just myself. I want to be a man of generosity who can give and give without harming myself. I want to be a gentleman, you know, and then the man who owns this meditation center that I live at sent a voice note to our Ohana. And it was basically about letting go of the ego. He didn't say the word ego in the message, but to let the higher self be the governance of who you are, to leave the body, to leave the flesh that you are in. You need to let that higher existence that is within you be the guiding light, because emotions are just waves of energy. You need to just observe them and not get attached to them, and that man also was a reminder of all the great things men have done. And he worked with his guru, which is why this place is named after his guru, you know and I'm so proud of all the men out there who are putting in the time, who are doing what they need to do. I see myself, there's a group of men that I want to have a table, that I want to have a seat at their table one day, whether it's figuratively or, you know, or like figuratively or speaking, or like realistically speaking, like I see myself sitting at a table with a group of men that I can look around, whether I'm the young buck in there and they've got all this wisdom and they're gonna put it to me, and it's gonna be my job one day to pass that information down, and I think about that all the time because I want to make men proud. I want to I want to look back one day and know that I can look at the invisible forces and I can humbly go to them and say that I followed the way. I lived the way of what it means to be a man of character. You know, I'm 25 now, and I know some of my friends that they're really working their butts off. You know, Jake Wade specifically, one of my favorite human beings, my brother, Dylan, you know, and I'm so proud of these men, you know, men my age that are turning the corner, that are on their path, that are zoned in, you know, and, you know, when I was working at the pizza restaurant, you know, sometimes you just get these waves of gratitude and emotional energy and, you know, letting this young man that I work with know, hey, like, I'm proud of you, you know, because men don't tend to get that very often, whether it's from each other or from society at all. And, you know, he just looked at me and he was like, you know, I haven't really heard that. And I appreciate you telling me that, you know, and it's because I see this man every day show up, care about his job, and do everything he can to serve people, you know, because if he doesn't show up and half the crew doesn't show up, people aren't getting served food. You know, you go to Qdoba and you're having an attitude with the person behind the counter who's making your food because you don't like it the way it's being done. And instead of just humbling yourself for a second and showing humility. And so I just wanted to say that to all the men out there who have influenced me in the utmost ways, to all the men, you know, to all of my fathers who have set the standard for me. Thank you. I'm so, so proud of all of you, Nick and Tim. I'm proud of you guys. Um, to my biological father, I will, I will work on my temper. I will keep humbling myself. To Jason Shervany for taking me to lunch when I would ask, hey, can we go talk? You know, this is the CEO of a company who's, you know, when I asked him immediately, what day do you want to go? He puts it on the calendar. We go and get tacos, you know, and then it makes you realize that no matter what level these people get to, they're still, you know, human beings who enjoy simplicity of life. You know, I'm so grateful to like truly realize how many good men I've had in my life. Mr. Wise, my math teacher, also a math whiz, and my chess teacher in sixth grade, who I've been thinking about. I just, you know, Mr. Billison, you know, my homeroom teacher who was critical for me senior year to help me graduate, to keep me mentally stable. Please, you know, to men out there struggling, it's not over. It's not over. You're going to have to step outside yourself, you know, whether it takes a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, a year. Just keep moving forward. Just keep walking because you are here for a reason. You are here because of all the work that's been done so that you can live in this society. Yes, it's really hard, but you know what? We've got hot showers on command. We've got stove and gas kitchens. You know, we've got cars. We've got planes. We've got so many things that have made our life easier. We've got authors who have written incredible books to help us, and I just ask that you don't give up on yourself. Number one, thank your friends that have stuck by you. Thank the people who have encouraged you, and thank yourself for not letting yourself down. My goal as a young man is, I kind of look at life as a game and a movie, and a show. I want to max out all of my skills. That's my main mission, is to max myself out as a human being and max out my capabilities, my cooking skills, my yoga stuff, you know, my spirituality, you know, there's, I want to max everything out that I possibly can, and I'm just, I'm proud to be a man who has been blessed through time and effort of other men, you know. I guess that's really what I wanted to make this video about. I didn't want to rant, but I really felt this video deep in my heart to just thank men for setting the standard for me and for others, who are on the path, who are on the way. Because at some point I'm going to go from student to teacher, and even teachers continue to learn. They continue to educate themselves over and over and over. They're a student and a teacher. And I want to become a student of life so that I can be a teacher. I say this with the utmost gratitude, with a bursting heart, with the full moon shining down. Thank you to all the young men who are doing their best, to all the middle-aged men who are in the thick of things. You got kids, you got a job, you got a wife, you got a mortgage, you got all these things you're trying to take care of. To the men who are on the lone path, who have gotten comfortable with themselves, I'm so proud of all of you. And surrender to the invisible forces that protect you, and keep going. Namaste. Thank you.